Hi, my name is Rodel Augusto G. Sarmiento, and I will be your host for this webcast. Let me remind the viewers that this webcast material is for the newbies of Microsoft Excel. If you are already familiar with ribbons and sees little need for using shortkeys as alternative for invoking functions, I think this webcast is not suited for your viewing. I suggest that you look into the advanced topics in some of the videos to help you out. To benefit more from this viewing experience, we suggest that you try to practice while viewing this webcast or plan your time to apply the concepts that you learned after watching this video. As I'd mentioned in our previous webcast, learning through doing increases our chance to retain this newfound knowledge. Hey, this is Dal. Welcome to Ascend Webcast, the business solutions maintained and operated by Aldana Sarmiento and Company. Welcome to Ascend Webcast. The topic of this webcast is all about the shortkeys used for navigating the ribbons. We will show our viewers the quick and neat way to get around the ribbons with the use of keyboard. Ribbons are first introduced in Excel 2007, which organized the links, buttons, and icons by tabs, which is much better than Excel 2003. Since Excel 2007, ribbons are continuously improved by Microsoft by adding commands and customizing the tabs. I guess for newbies, your assignment is to familiarize the group of functions under each tab to help you get started. As soon as you learn what functions belong to each tab, your next assignment is to learn the shortkeys to navigate around the ribbons. I need not further explain how to use the mouse to invoke specific functions in the ribbons, as you only have to point and left-click the icon. The challenge is how to master the use of initial and subsequent shortkeys to speed up your navigation and invoke the functions right away. I will not discuss the shortkeys in detail for each tab, as it serves your challenge to figure it out. It is not that hard to learn, and the more you use the shortkeys, your fingers will get used to it, and for all you know, you will navigate faster than using the mouse. So if you're ready, let's get to shortkeys to navigate around the ribbons. When I'm inside the workbook, I'm going to navigate around the worksheet using only the keyboard through the ribbons, which are applicable for Excel 2007 up to Excel 2016. In my experience, the smartest way to learn shortcuts is through the ribbons. As you gain skills in keyboard shortcuts, you can use the legacy command from Excel 2003 or alternate shortkeys from Excel 2007 to Excel 2016. Personally, I see little value of using the combination of keyboard and mouse shortkeys except for some commands which I'll describe later. I'm sure the newbies and basic Excel users can easily relate to this. I'm not going to demonstrate the legacy shortcuts of Excel 2003, no mouse, no combination of mouse and keyboard, just ribbons. Let's navigate inside the hood of ribbons. The whole group of GUIs in the upper part of your workbook are called ribbons. The default arrangement of ribbons in Excel 2007 to Excel 2016 are typically much the same. I believe the only difference between versions are aesthetics plus upgraded commands for each version. So when I say ribbons, I mean GUIs from the upper portion of your workbook. I will not discuss in detail about each group of links and icons in the ribbons. Please remember the arrangement of tabs and icons for each group, as it will be very useful when you're about to enter the shortkeys. When you remember this, it is easier to find the shortkeys until you subconsciously memorize it through continuous use. For more details on the ribbons, please visit the site of Microsoft for complete reference. The mother of all shortkeys in Excel 2007 to Excel 2016 is the Alt key. When you press the Alt key, all subsequent shortkeys will be visible for end-user reference. As I've said from my previous slide, when you get familiarized with tabs, links, and icons, it will be faster next time. Let's go back to the workbook and observe what happens when I press the Alt key. Now that we are back in Workbook Sample Workbook, we have three options to navigate around the ribbons. The first one will be using a mouse, and the other two will be using a keyboard. Both Option 2 and Option 3 use the same initial shortkey. They only differ in the use of subsequent shortkey that in Option 2, arrow keys and Enter key are used for traversing from one icon to another icon, from one tab to another icon, or from one tab to another tab, and vice versa. Under option 3, the initial and subsequent shortkeys are used all the way to navigate around the ribbons. I will use the same example to all three options by bolding the characters in cell D1 and filling color yellow in cell D2. Since cell D1 is my default active cell, I will navigate around the ribbon using the mouse. I will go to the Home tab and left-click, go to the bold icon and left-click to change the characters from normal to bold, and then I hover on cell D2, left-click to change the active cell to cell D2, and then I go to Fill Color icon, so whatever color you see next to the paint bucket will be the color assigned to cell D2. Left-click or click the drop-down and find the yellow color box and left-click, and there you have it. Under option 2, I will navigate around the ribbon using traversal keys. Since I already assigned cell D1 as my active cell, I will press Alt-H to transfer the active tab from Insert to Home, and then press the arrow down key to get me to the first icon, and I will continue pressing the arrow keys until I reach the bold icon, arrow key right, arrow key down, arrow key right, and then press enter to change the characters from normal to bold. Our next task under option 2 is to fill color yellow in cell D2. Since cell D1 is our active cell, we need to shift from cell D1 to cell D2 as the new active cell. We press the arrow keys or arrow key down to get to cell D2 and make this the new active cell. Then we press the Alt key, and since our Home tab is already a default tab, we press the arrow key down to get to the first icon and continue pressing the arrow keys until we reach the Fill Color icon. So in this case, arrow key right, arrow key down, arrow key right, and then press enter, and then use the arrow keys until we reach the color yellow box, press enter, and there you have it. Under option 3, we will navigate around the ribbons using short keys from start to end. Our first task is to bolden the characters in cell D1. Since cell D1 is already an active cell, we will press Alt, and you will see short keys for tabs, quick access toolbar, and application object. Since the bold icon is found under the Home tab, we will press H, and then another short keys will pop up next to each icon under each group for the Home tab. And since the bold icon is assigned as 1, we will press 1 to change the characters from normal to bold. The next task under option 3 is filling color yellow in cell D2. We need to make cell D2 as the new active cell. Like in option 2, we need to shift cell D1 to cell D2 by pressing the arrow keys to reach cell D2. In this case, we press the arrow key down to reach cell D2, and now it is the new active cell. Then we press the Alt key and then choose H, and since the Fill Color icon is under the Home tab and the short key assigned to Fill Color icon is H, we press H, and then the color dialog box opens. We will scroll using the arrow keys until we find the yellow box, and then press enter, and there you have it. So it's not really scary using the Alt key at all. You can use option 2 while getting your feel on the short keys until eventually you master all the short keys and go use option 3. There's nothing to lose learning these short keys as they help you get faster navigating around your workbook. You have reached the end of another learning episode of Ascend Webcast. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed this episode with your host, Del. Please don't forget to click the like button or share this episode's URL to your friends, office mates, or colleagues in our profession. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode. Thanks for tuning in.